Hi, my name's Joseph Ibrahim. In this presentation, I want to talk to you about one of the more complex situations a doctor has to face when they diagnose a patient with dementia. Let me put you in my shoes for a moment. Imagine that you're working in a memory clinic in regional Australia. You've just finished seeing your last patient of the day, Mr. Jones, an 80-year-old man with newly diagnosed Alzheimer's type dementia. He's already heading towards the door. So you go through your notes one last time, looking to make sure you've covered all of the clinical risks associated with dementia. So you've covered medication, finances, power of attorney. There's one last thing left to say. The one thing that's still missing. Just one last thing, Mr. Jones, you say. You'll have to stop driving. You continue packing your briefcase. Excuse me, doctor. Oh yes, Mr. Jones. Did you say, now I'm not sure if I heard you correctly, did you happen to say, I'll have to stop driving? So you're a little surprised when Mr. Jones says he wants to continue driving. I mean, isn't it obvious that he should stop? Anyway, so you go into more detail. You say, driving's a complicated skill, and having dementia means your thinking may be impaired. Mr. Jones, however, is not convinced and is starting to get a little angry. He says, I've been driving longer than you've been alive and it's not your problem anyway. You realise this one's going to be a little bit more tricky than you first expected. Why don't you have a think about that and talk to your son, and we'll discuss it next time. A deflated Mr. Jones leaves your room with his son. You close your file and leave the office relieved. You've obviously done the right thing for Mr. Jones and the community, haven't you? It's only the following week that you think about Mr. Jones again. You see, Mr. Jones' son, Peter, who'd sat so quietly in the consultation, has come back to talk to you. He's a gentle soul who softly explains the impact of your consultation on his father's life. He tells you that not driving means that his father is now confined to his house. Stop and think for a moment. What would happen to you if you lost your licence? How would you get around? How would you see your friends? Now imagine, you're in your 80s, you live alone in your own house, you don't even own a computer. It could get pretty lonely, couldn't it? It's all well and good for a young city-trained doctor like you to say to Mr. Jones, find other means of transport, but the reality is very different. The nearest bus stop could be 2 kilometres away. Even if Mr. Jones managed with his arthritis and the walking stick, he would still have trouble getting up those steps into the bus. And what if he missed the bus? The half-price taxi vouchers, they seemed like a good idea, but the distances in the country means that it might cost $200 or more just to get to the clinic. Not exactly short change for someone on a pension. And not only have you restricted Mr. Jones's ability to leave the house, you've done it after diagnosing a new chronic medical condition for which he'll need multiple visits to the clinic. And what about the suggestion of his family driving him around? Seriously? The appointments are all in business hours. Can a working family manage to do that regularly? And it's not just Mr. Jones's mobility that's been affected. Not having your licence is a significant psychological change. Mr. Jones is very embarrassed explaining to his friends at the bowls club why he couldn't be there every week, and he is quite depressed by this. Peter explains to you that he'd been in the car with his father many times and never thought there was any danger. In fact, in his view, Peter said, slightly raising his voice now, Mr. Jones is more than just able to drive. He was in fact a damn good driver and he was no risk to anyone. Peter was more concerned that his father's life had taken a dramatic turn for the worse, and it wasn't the dementia that had caused it, it was you. I left the clinic feeling confused. I hadn't realised my decision would have had such an impact, or that the measures I'd suggested would be of such little benefit. Worse still, there was a thought lingering in my mind. Could Peter be right? Was it possible that Mr. Jones, a man with Alzheimer's disease, remained a safe and capable driver? Is this combination possible? Dementia and safe driving? I began to wonder, What evidence do we have that people with dementia are a danger on our roads? I was surprised to find there was actually very little evidence that all patients with dementia make bad drivers. In fact, if you bother to look at the statistics, people with dementia rarely cause accidents at all. I'll never forget Mr. Jones, and I'll always remember the mistake I made that day. There is no easy answer to the question of whether a patient with dementia should stop driving. We all have a responsibility to balance the myriad of competing interests. I'm Joseph Ibrahim. Thanks for watching this video.